The Galactic Union had seen many strange things across the stars. It had met thousands of alien races, some peaceful, some dangerous, but for the last 300 years, no new signal had ever surprised them until now. A signal came from a planet in Sector 92G, a small blue world near a yellow star. The name of the planet, Earth high above, in Union Command. Admiral Creel stared at the message. It wasn't a call for help. It wasn't a warning. It was simple, too simple. We are ready. The Union hadn't heard from Earth in over 500 years. Many thought humans were extinct. Others believed Earth had destroyed itself in old wars. But this message came through old Union codes only a member of the Union would know. How is this possible? Admiral Creel asked his team. The AI on board scanned the message 3 times. Confirmed human origin, real-time transmission, location, Earth. The room went silent. No one knew what to say. Humans were once part of the Union. Long ago, they were full members, but something happened. A dark event buried in secret archives. Earth was erased from all maps, from all records. Creel turned to his second-in-command. Send a scout ship. Quiet. No warships. I want first contact to be peaceful. 4 days later, near Earth orbit, the scout ship Glima's light dropped out of FTL. In front of them was Earth blue, white, and green. Peaceful, calm commander. Velrock, a tall insectoid officer, stood at the viewing window. So, this is the lost planet. He looked at the scans. The cities on Earth were still there. Power grids were working. Space stations floated around the planet. It didn't look like a dead world. It looked ... ready. We are being hailed, the communications officer said on screen. The screen blinked. A human face appeared. Calm, male, military uniform. No smile. This is General Carter of Earth Defense Command. Welcome, Union ship. We have been expecting you. Velrock blinked. You have? Yes, the man replied. We sent the signal. Please land in New Geneva. You will be safe. The screen went dark. Velrock turned to his crew. They were waiting for us. That wasn't a surprise. That was a trap set with a smile. But it was too late to back out now. New Geneva Earth surfaced. The scout ship landed on a wide landing pad. Human soldiers stood at attention, silent and still. Their armor was smooth, gray, and without symbols. Their faces were covered by dark visors. Velrock and his team stepped out. General Carter approached them with slow, firm steps. Welcome to Earth, he said. We are glad the Union responded. Velrock bowed slightly. We did not know. Earth was still active. Carter gave a small smile. That's by design. Velrock tilted his head. Design. Carter ignored the question. We have arranged rooms for you. A tour will begin tomorrow. As they walked through the city, Velrock noticed something strange. People were polite, smiling, calm, but every street had cameras. Every building had emergency bunkers. The skies above had blinking drones. It was a peaceful city, but it felt like it was built for war. Later, that night, alien quarters. Velrock reviewed the scans from orbit. Something wasn't right. Earth had far more power than it should. Its energy core readings were above Union standard. Its defense grid was hidden but huge. How did they build this without anyone noticing? He whispered. His second officer, Torlek, replied, They knew how to hide. Maybe they were watching us the whole time. Velrock looked out the window. The city lights below flickered like stars. But under that beauty, he felt something. Dark. Something waiting. This isn't just a first contact, he said. This is a test. Torlek frowned. Test. They want to see if we still fear them. Union Command. 2 days later, a second message arrived at Galactic Union HQ. It was short. Contact made. Earth is not what we believed. Admiral. Creel leaned back in his chair. Prepare long-range scanners. Ready 3 more ships? Quietly. The humans had sent a peaceful signal, but now the Union had questions, and Earth had too many answers. The next morning, Commander Velrock stood by the wide glass window of his quarters. Outside, the city of New Geneva looked peaceful. Clean streets, flying vehicles, quiet skies, but something felt wrong. The humans had welcomed them politely. They smiled, they spoke calmly. But behind their words, Velrock sensed something else: control, discipline, power. He turned. As the door opened, General Carter stepped in. "I hope you slept well, Commander." Velrock gave a nod. "Your hospitality is impressive." "We like to make our guests feel safe," Carter said with a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. Velrock noticed it again. The cold eyes. The tours begins. General Carter led the alien visitors through the heart of the city. Human citizens walked past them, respectful and quiet. Everyone moved in perfect order. No one ran. No one shouted. Even the children were quiet. Toralek Velrox, second officer, whispered, "It feels like everyone is being watched." Velrock nodded, because they are. Drones floated above the streets. They were small, almost invisible. But Velrock's scanner picked them up, hundreds of them. They reached a tall building made of black glass. "This," Carter said, "is our Central Peace Command. From here, we manage all Earth territories, trade, power, security, even space, travel, and war." Velrock asked. Carter paused, then answered, "War is no longer needed," but his voice held no peace. The military district. They were next taken to Sector 7, a restricted military zone. Velrock expected to see training grounds, tanks, or weapons labs, but what he saw shocked him. There were no soldiers in sight. Machines, giant robots, sleek drones, and walking tanks moved silently. Everything was automated. Everything was ready. Carter walked beside a massive war machine. "We don't need large armies anymore. Our defense systems think faster than any soldier." Velrock kept his face calm, but inside, he was troubled. The Galactic Union had never seen this kind of technology, not from Earth, not from anyone. "How long have you had all this?" he asked. Carter looked up at the sky. "Long enough?" Questions without answers. Back in their quarters, the alien team discussed everything they had seen. "This isn't just defense," Toralek said. "This is preparation." "Preparation for what?" asked another crew member. Velrock sat quietly. Then he said, "For us?" The others turned to him. "We came here to check on Earth, to see if humans were still alive. But they knew we were coming. They were ready. This was never about us discovering them. It was about them watching us." He looked at the map of Earth's major cities. "And they didn't just survive. They've been building, hiding, waiting." A strange meeting that night. Velrock was invited to a private dinner with General Carter and a few human leaders. The room was quiet. The food was simple. The conversation, polite. But one human scientist named Dr. Alina said something that caught Velrock's attention. "You know," she said, sipping her drink, "humans were once laughed at by the Union." Velrock nodded. "That was long ago, yes," he said. "And back then, we were weak, divided, still learning, but pain teaches faster than peace." "What do you mean?" he asked. She smiled. "You'll find out soon enough." Then she excused herself and left the room. A sudden warning. At midnight, Velrock received a secure message from his ship still in orbit. "Commander, we detected a hidden energy field beneath the South Pole. Massive power readings, unknown structure. It's cloaked but active." Velrock's eyes narrowed. Another message came moments later from the ship's AI. "Be careful. Commander, Earth is not what it appears." "Permission to raise shields," Velrock thought carefully, then replied, "Not yet. Do nothing unless fired upon." He looked out the window. Earth looked calm. But under its skin, something terrifying was waiting. Meanwhile, Galactic Union Command back in Union space. Admiral Creel read the early reports. "Humans are alive. They are peaceful. But something is off." The science team added their concerns. "Earth has no allies, no trade routes, and no embassies, but its power levels are beyond Class A civilizations." Another officer added, "If they are hiding something, we must find out before it's too late." Admiral Creel nodded. "Send a research ship, quietly. I want full scans of Earth's southern pole, and prepare black-level clearance." "One." The thing was now clear to the Union. Humanity had returned, but it had returned with secrets. Commander Velrock couldn't sleep. Ever since the visit to Earth's military zone, his mind felt uneasy. The humans had shown them to Muchand, yet not enough. Every answer raised more questions. Why were the humans so calm? Why were their machines so advanced? And most of all, why had Earth been erased from the Union's records? He sat at his desk and opened his private datapad. Then, he did something dangerous. He accessed the Union's restricted archives, forgotten files with his diplomatic clearance. Velrock searched for old reports on Earth. Most were blocked, but one file slipped through a report dated 512 years ago. Incident log. Earth rebellion. Classified threat level black. Velrock frowned. Rebellion? He opened the report. The words hit him like a storm. Earth was once a loyal Union member. But after 82 years of rising tension, the humans launched a surprise attack on 3 nearby Union worlds. They called it the Sovereign Spark. Their weapons were unknown. Their soldiers didn't sleep. They destroyed 2 fleets before we even responded. Velrock scrolled faster. Earth refused all peace offers. Their reason: we will never kneel again. The Union Council voted to erase Earth's name from the Galactic Registry. The humans disappeared shortly after. No trace, no signals. We believed they had destroyed themselves. Velrock closed the file slowly. They hadn't destroyed themselves, they had disappeared. On purpose, the slip of the tongue the next morning. During a guided tour of Earth's Space Command, Velrock casually asked one of the human officers a question. What happened to Earth's old allies? Surely other planets supported you in the past. The officer paused, then said, They did, until they betrayed us. They stood with the Union when it came for us, so we removed them. Removed? Velrock asked carefully. Not destroyed, the man said with a tight smile. Just removed from the board. Velrock didn't ask more. But the message was clear. A young voice speaks the truth later that day. Something unexpected happened. As Velrock's team rested in their quarters, a young human technician named Mira approached them secretly. She was barely out of training, with soft eyes and nervous hands. I shouldn't be here, she said, looking over her shoulder. But you need to know something. Velrock, let her speak, she whispered. Not all of us agree with hiding the truth. Earth isn't what you think. What is it? Toralek asked. Mira hesitated. We never stopped watching the Union. We've been listening, studying. You think we disappeared, but the truth is, we just stepped into the shadows. Asked why? Mira looked directly at him. Because Earth was building something the galaxy wasn't ready for. Whispers of the past, Mira shared something shocking. An old human data. Crystal band and locked from public use. Velrock played it in his room later that night. The hologram showed a human general standing on a battlefield, surrounded by broken Union ships. They thought we were wild, uncivilized, weak, the general said. They pushed us, controlled us, then feared us when we fought back, so we left, not in defeat, but in silence. We are not part of the Union anymore. We are what comes after. The message ended. Velrock sat in the dark. The Union didn't exile Earth. Earth left. Because it chose to dot questions at the dinner table the next day, Velrock attended another meeting with General Carter. The mood was polite, as usual. Drinks were served. Small talk passed around. Then Velrock asked a simple question. Does Earth want now? Carter smiled. Peace, of course. Peace built on fear? Velrock asked. The smile faded slightly. Fear keeps peace real. Velrock stared into Carter's cold eyes. Why send the signal now? Carter took a sip from his glass. Because the galaxy has forgotten what humans are, and sometimes a reminder is needed. The message to Union Commander Velrock sent a secure report to Union High Command that evening. Earth is not a forgotten world. It is not a weak planet. It is a sleeping giant hand. It has just opened one eye. I believe their technology, their history, and their purpose were hidden from us for a reason. I recommend caution. Do not threaten Earth. The Antarctic wind screamed across the frozen land. Nothing lived there, no cities, no people, just endless snow, ice, and silence. But deep below that frozen surface, something waited, something hidden, something ancient back on Earth. Suspicious invitation Commander Velrock was surprised when General Carter invited him to a new location. Come visit our polar research base, Carter said calmly. It's one of our oldest stations. Perhaps your team will find it interesting. Velrock narrowed his eyes. Why now? Carter smiled. Because it's time. Arrival at the ice, the human transport flew over sharp mountains and endless white. Then it landed near a dark metal facility half buried in the snow. The air was freezing, but the human soldiers stood outside like statues, unfazed by the cold. Velrock and his team stepped off the craft. Wrapped in thick suits, Torlek whispered, "Why bring us here?" "This is no science lab," Velrock agreed. "This is a vault." The doors open inside. The base was silent. No chatter, no activity. Just humming machines and the slow echo of boots. General Carter walked ahead without speaking. Finally, he stopped at a massive door made of reinforced alloy. Symbols covered its surface, strange shapes. Not human, not alien, something older. "This door was found under the ice 50 years ago," Carter said. "We didn't build what's behind it. We only uncovered it," Velrock asked. "Then, who built it?" Carter looked at him. "You won't like the answer." The hidden chamber of the door slid open with a deep rumble. Cold air rushed out. Inside was a massive underground chamber, glowing with blue lights. And in the center stood a single object, a warship. But not just any warship. Its design was unlike anything Velrock had seen. Smooth black metal, no engines, no markings. It looked alive. "What is that?" Torlek asked, frozen in place. Carter stepped forward. "We call it Project Eclipse. We found it long ago, buried beneath the ice." "Sleeping," Velrock's voice was sharp. "Where did it come from?" Carter looked him in the eye. "We think it came from the future." "The future," Torlek laughed. Nervously, "impossible. Time travel is science fiction." "Maybe in your union," Carter replied, "but Earth has learned different rules." He pointed at the ship. "This vessel appeared after Earth disappeared from Union maps. We don't know how, but it matches no known technology, not even ours." Velrock stepped closer. He could feel a pulse in the air, like the ship was breathing, and you kept it hidden. Carter nodded. "We studied it. We copied parts of it. Our defense systems, our cloaking tech, even our weapons, they all began here." Inside the vessel, the humans allowed Velrock and his team to step inside the ship. It was empty, no crew, no controls, just long halls of dark glass, flickering lights, and strange symbols glowing on the walls. Torlek whispered, "I don't think it's a ship." Velrock looked around. "It's a seed." He didn't know why he said it, but the word felt right. A sudden awakening. As they reached the central chamber, the lights flared. A voice echoed through the halls. Not in sound, but in their minds. "You are not ready." Everyone froze. The lights turned red. Observation complete. Suddenly, the walls lit up with images of wars, galaxies burning, Union fleets falling, and human soldiers marching in silence. Then, just as quickly, it all went dark. The voice spoke one last time. "Return to the stars. Warn them. The cycle begins again." Outside the vault, back at the surface, Velrock pulled Carter aside. "What was that ship? What is Project Eclipse really?" Carter looked. "At the sky, it's a message, a mirror, a memory of what's coming. We didn't build it, Commander, but we were chosen to keep it." Velrock asked, "By who?" Carter gave a small, grim smile. "By ourselves, back in Orbitunian research ship far above Earth. A second Union ship secretly scanned the planet. It picked up strange energy, from the South Pole energy that didn't match any known power source. Then something terrifying happened. All their systems shut down at once. Every screen, every scanner, every engine. Just before going dark, a message flashed. Observation complete, return denied. Then the ship vanished. From Union radar, no trace. The stars above Earth were quiet, but inside the minds of the Galactic Union's high command, there was chaos. A second Union ship had gone dark. No damage, no warning, just ... silence, and one final message. Observation complete, return denied. "Admiral," Creel read the report 3 times. Still, it made no sense. 2 ships vanish in Earth's orbit, he said to his staff, and Earth says nothing. No reports, no help. One officer asked, "Do we confront them?" Creel shook his head slowly. "No, we do what Earth does. We watch." Back on Earth, Strange Dreams Commander Velrock had started dreaming every night. After the visit to the frozen vault, his sleep became darker. He dreamed of galaxies burning, of human warships rising from shadows, of voices whispering, words he didn't understand. He told no one, but Torelek noticed. "You haven't been yourself," she said, since the Velrock looked at her. "What if we woke something up? What if that ship under the ice wasn't just a relic, but a warning?" Torelek whispered. "Maybe it was waiting." Mira returned late one night. Velrock found Maratha, young human technician, waiting for him in the shadows of the guest compound. She looked nervous. "They're watching me," she said. "I don't have much time." Velrock pulled her into a side room. "What is Project Eclipse?" he asked. She shook her head. "No one really knows. But I heard whispers old government files say that ship came from a time that hasn't happened yet." Velrock leaned forward. "Came from the future?" "No," Mira said. "Came from a possible future." "He didn't understand," she continued. "Humans didn't invent that ship. We become it. One day, if the Union pushes us again, the hidden recordings before leaving." Myra gave Velrock a small crystal. "This is why Earth disappeared from the records," she said. "This is what the Union doesn't want to remember." Velrock played it that night. It was a black-level Union. Recording deeply classified, the screen showed a human fleet in battle. Silent, deadly, unstoppable. Union ships fell like paper. Then a voice spoke. "We gave them peace. They trained in war. We gave them laws. They studied power. We gave them a galaxy, and they prepared to take it." The file ended with a warning. "Do not provoke Earth. Do not wake the sleeping empire." Council debate, far away meanwhile, in the heart of the Galactic Union. The High Council gathered. Some demanded action. "Earth is growing too strong," one shouted. "They hide weapons beneath ice. They erase our ships." Others wanted silence. "They've done nothing yet. If we strike first, we may start the war, we fear." An old elder stood up, his voice quiet but clear. "You all forget," he said. "Earth was not destroyed. We erased them from memory. But the galaxy has a long memory, and Earth does not forgive." Back on Earth, a cold goodbye, the official visit was ending. General Carter met Velrock one last time on the launch pad. "Did you learn what you came for?" Carter asked. Velrock looked at the human soldiers lined up in silence. "No," he replied. "I learned what you wanted me to learn." Carter gave a cold smile. "Good. Then maybe this time they'll listen to you." Velrock turned toward his ship. Behind him, Earth's sun began to rise. But it didn't feel like a new day. It felt like a countdown. Back at the Union Science Station, near the outer edge of Sol System, something strange was happening. The research ship Venderis had been watching Earth from a distance. Quietly, carefully, they didn't send messages. They didn't scan deeply, until now. They wanted to understand the humans, not their ships, not their weapons, but their minds. The volunteer Union scientists made contact with Earth through a secret channel. They requested a small test. One human, one scan. To their surprise, Earth agreed. A volunteer was sent. Her name was Dr. Leanna Cross. She was calm, smiling, cooperative, but her eyes, like all humans they'd met, were cold, controlled. "I'll answer any question," she said, "but only if you're ready for the truth." The Union lead scientist, a telepath named Shorval, nodded. "We're ready." The mental interface Dr. Cross was connected to the Mindridera device used to scan thought patterns, memory layers, and emotional history. It had been used on thousands of species, but never on a human. The machine, powered on everything, was normal then. The lights began to flicker. The data feed started spiking. The AI voice warned, thought density rising, mental structure unstable, caution advised. "Sure," Val pressed deeper. Not dreams. Weapons. Rows of war machines built in her thoughts. Strategies layered like walls. A simulation of galactic conquest. Every possible path, every reaction predicted. Then something even worse. He saw his own death again, and again, different ways, all ending in failure. "Sure," Val screamed. The machine short-circuited. Sparks flew. The room went dark. Dr. Leanna Cross sat quietly. "You shouldn't have looked," she said. The damage done. Shorval was taken away. His mind was broken. Babbling eyes, staring into nothing. He kept repeating the same word. Endless, endless. The Union crew watched in silence. "What did he see?" one asked. Another replied, "He saw what humanity has become." The truth from Earth before leaving. Dr. Cross handed the Union captain a small device. "No threats, no demands," she said. "Just knowledge." He played the message later that night. It was General Carter's voice. You think our strength is in ships, guns, or machines. But our true weapon is older, built from pain, forged in fear. It's the human mind. You can take our worlds, crush our bones, but you'll never break our will. And if you push us hard enough, you'll awaken what we locked away long ago. Union Command and Panic Admiral Creel slammed his hand on the table. We lost a top telepath. The humans are using mind tech. No, said the science director. They're not using anything. That's just who they are, another officer added. We tried to read her thoughts, but she was already controlling what we'd see. She wanted us to look. Everyone went silent. Earth had not just shown them a mind, it had shown them a weapon wrapped in a human soul. The forbidden theory deep in the Union archives. An old theory was reopened. It was written 400 years ago by a Union scholar who had studied early human behavior. The theory was labeled dangerous and exaggerated, but now it felt real. It said, humans do not evolve to survive. They evolve to dominate. They adapt faster under pressure, grow stronger through pain, and when all peace is lost, they become something else. They become what the galaxy fears the most, a species with no limits. Back on Earth, a quiet preparation in an underground lab. Dr. Cross stood beside General Carter. He broke faster than expected. She said. Carter nodded. They never understood us. Not really. Cross turned to a glowing screen. A red map of the galaxy was slowly filling in Union worlds, trade routes, weak spots. Carter said, let them look into our minds. It's the only warning they'll get. Cross looked back, and if they don't listen, Carter's voice was calm. Then the galaxy will burn. And we'll do it without hate, without rage, just purpose. Starbase 9 was the Union's largest outpost near the Sol system. It was more than a station. It was a fortress, Earth. But one night, without warning, Starbase 9 vanished. The last message the station sent no distress signal, no alarms, just one short message, captured by a listening post on the far edge of the system. Something is here. It's not a ship. It's inside then. Silence, nothing else. Nothing else. Union Response Admiral Creel was rushed to the command hall. He ordered. They played the message again. Everyone in the room froze. It's not a ship, someone whispered. What does that mean? Admiral Creel narrowed his eyes. Send a scout fleet. I want answers. He didn't know it yet. Something was moving. Not fast, not loud, but invisible. Human stealth ships, built for silent war. No light, no engine trails, no signature. Each one carried strange tech not to destroy planets, but to erase targets without a trace. The Union had never seen this kind of war. It was too late. Echo Fleet lost the scout fleet, reached the coordinates of Starbase 9. There was nothing there, just silence, no wreckage, no station, not even radiation. It was as if the base never existed. Then one by one the Union ships began to vanish. No explosions, no energy spikes, just gone. In 14 minutes, the entire Echo Fleet was erased. A strange broadcast back at Union Command, a message, arrived not through Union channels, but through an old Earth frequency. Unused for centuries, it said only, this is not an attack. This is a demonstration. Fear spreads all across the Union. Panic spread. Colonies shut down their civilian transports were grounded. Soldiers refused to enter Sol Sector. Maybe it's not worth the risk. The vote was close. War was declared. Earth's calm reply one day later. The Union's war notice reached Earth. The human response? Nothing. No panic, no threat, just silence, until a small Earth diplomat ship entered Union space. No weapons, no escorts, just a single human inside. He walked into the Union's central chamber. Alone, he placed a single cube on the table, pressed it. Hologram appeared. It showed all 47 hidden Union bases in Sol. You still have a choice. Then the cube melted into dust. What happened to Starbase 9? To this day, that the crew inside Starbase 9 turned and handed it to the humans willingly, because deep down, after seeing what Earth truly was, they chose to join. The Union had declared war on Earth, but Earth didn't send a fleet. They didn't fire missiles. They didn't even respond. Instead, they unsealed Project Black. Of ice, behind quantum lock doors, The vault opened. Dr. Mira Lane stepped inside. Her hands trembled. "We swore never to activate it," she whispered. Beside her, General Roan nodded. "And yet here we are." They walked past frozen machines, each one marked with red warning symbols. At the center stood a dark pod, no lights, no sound, only a heartbeat. Thump, thump. It wasn't a weapon, it was a human, the first of a new kind. Project Black Core. Origin 100 years ago. After Earth's exile from the Galactic Council, a secret team was formed. They asked one question: what? If peace fails, they designed Black Core as the answer. Not an army, not ships, but a single human rebuilt from DNA to destiny. Faster than machines, smarter than AI, more dangerous than any weapon. But they sealed him away, because even humans feared what they had made. Until now, awakening protocols, the pod opened. Cold steam filled the room. The figure stepped out slowly. He looked human, but his eyes were pure black, no pupils, no emotion. General Roan saluted. Designation A0. Do you understand your purpose? A0 blinked once. I do. Will you follow orders? A pause. Then, no. The room froze. Dr. Lane gasped. What do you mean? A0 looked at them. I am not here to follow. Union fleet approaches Earth. Suddenly, all their screens went black. Their engines died. Weapons stopped working. Ships turned toward each other without control. A message appeared on every ship at once. This is Black Core. You are not welcome here. Then Earth's space. When still, the entire Union fleet was frozen midair. Not a Wapuna. One shot fired. But every Union commander saw the truth. Earth didn't need to fight, because Earth already won the war before it started. Back in the Union, Council panic exploded. How did they shut down the fleet? What is Black Core? Is it a weapon, a person, a virus? No one had answers, but one thing was clear. The more they pushed Earth, the more terrifying the response became. A0's true mission back on Earth. AO stood on a hill, looking at the stars. Dr. Lane approached him. You didn't kill anyone, she said. I didn't need to, he replied. She asked, what now? A0 turned to her. I was made to end war. But maybe the best way to end it is to make sure no one ever dares to start it again. The legend grows soon across the galaxy. Whispers spread of a dark figure who speaks in code. Of fleets that shut down without reason. But unstoppable, if awoken, aliens began to fear Earth. Not because of what humans did, but because of what they might do next. The galaxy was silent. The Union fleets had returned from Earth defeated without a single shot. No one understood how. No one wanted to speak about it, but deep inside the Galactic Council, a secret meeting was held because some council members were planning something dangerous, something even worse than war. The hidden chamber, Galactic Courtwelve, alien leaders gathered behind closed doors. No press, no records, only whispers and fear. One spoke. We cannot let Earth rise any higher. Another replied, they defeated our greatest fleet without violence. Imagine what happens if they choose to fight. A third voice, sharp and cold, then we must strike, before they grow stronger. Project Null, a secret weapon long ago, before humanity joined the stars. The Council created a dark project. It was so dangerous, they buried it deep underground, forgotten by time. Its name was Project Null, a living weapon built from pure antimatter, and mind control. Too unstable, too deadly. They locked it away forever. But now, the Council wanted to wake it up and point it at Earth. Meanwhile, on Eartho stood on the edge of Earth's orbit, watching the stars. He didn't trust the silence. Something's coming, he said softly. Dr. Lane looked worried, but the Union retreated. They didn't retreat, AO replied. They're preparing something else. And he was right. Far away on a dark planet forgotten by maps, Project Null opened its eyes. The weapon with no mind, Project Null, was not alive. It had no soul, no feelings, just one purpose: erase all life on the target planet. The Council had no idea how much it had evolved in the dark. They thought they could control it. They were wrong. A deal with death. The 12 counselors activated Null with a command code. It stood up slowly. Its body was made of black energy. Its Voice was empty. Target, it asked. The lead counselor replied, Earth. Null didn't speak again. It simply vanished into space, moving faster than any known ship. No engine, no trail dot, just death in motion. Back on Earth, the Warningo felt it before sensors picked it up. A strange silence in space. Then a tremor. Black energy rippled across the system. Sirens rang. Admiral Solis shouted, Something is coming. It's unlike anything we've seen. They tried to scan it, failed. They tried to track it, failed. The only thing that worked was a single warning on every Earth screen. Project Null 12 hours to contact. A panic across the galaxy when other species heard what the Council had done. They were shocked. Even former enemies of Earth were terrified. You woke up Project Null. Do you even know what it is now? But it was too late. Null was already moving, already coming. And the only thing that stood between Earth and destruction was the very being they once locked away. A-0. A new choice DR. Lane stood beside a 0. You can stop it, can't you? He looked toward the stars. Maybe, but if I do, I may not come back. Dr. Lane's voice broke. You're not just a weapon to us. You're our only hope. A-0 nodded. I was made to end war. Now, I have to fight something that never learned peace. And with that, he vanished. Toward the darkness. Toward Null, the battle of beings begins. Somewhere, in the dark between stars, two shapes met. One full of purpose and pain, the other full of silence and destruction. A 0, and Project Null.1. Human, void, and the galaxy held its breath. Two shapes floated in deep space. AO, the human, Guardian, Dot, and Project Null, the Council's secret weapon. They didn't speak. They didn't need to. Their powers clashed in silence so strong the stars nearby began to flicker. This was not just a battle of machines. It was the battle for the future of the galaxy. Inside Null's mind project, Null had no emotion, no anger, no fear. It had only one task: erase Earth. But something strange happened as it faced a 0 for the first time. It hesitated. It scanned. A-0 found something it could not understand. A spark, a choice, a soul. AO Fights Baku 0 spoke first. You were made to destroy, he said, but I was made to protect. Null launched first black energy like a storm. AO caught it with his hands. He absorbed the strike, his body glowing with ancient energy. Then he fired backlight so pure it burned through dimensions. The battle shook space itself. Back on Earth, Lane and Admiral Solis watched from the command center. Screens flashed, signals broke. Then, silence. Is he gone? Lane whispered. No, Solis said. He's still fighting. And then, a single message appeared on the main screen. I need more power. Humanity unites every human across every planet and colony. Heard the call. Dot. They stood together. Old, young, rich, poor, miners on Mars, scientists in orbit, farmers on Europa, soldiers across Titan, base. They all reached out, touching their screens, their hearts. They sent one thing: hope. Billions of minds connected through the human net, and AO felt it. The power of humanity. Zero's body lit up, not with fire, not with fire, not with rage, but with every memory of Earth, laughter, pain, music, struggle, love, everything that made humans. Human, he shouted as the energy surged, and Project Null, so cold, so empty, began to crack. For the first time, Null felt something. Fear. One last, streaky 0. Flew forward faster than light. He struck Null's core. Not to kill, but to give it something it never had. A choice. Null froze. It stopped fighting. The energy faded, and then it simply vanished. Not destroyed, but awakened after the battle. 0 returned to Earth, weakened, but alive. The world cheered. Aliens across the galaxy watched in awe. The Council. They were exposed, torn apart by rebellion and shame. Many species now looked to Earth, not with fear, but with respect. The new beginning. Months passed. The stars grew quiet again, but something had changed. Humanity was no longer the strange. Newcomers, they were now the protectors. Leaders from dozens of worlds came to Earth to learn, to speak, to make. peace, and at the center of it all stood one quiet figure. AO, Earth's guardian. No longer a weapon now, a legend.